Hey, greetings and welcome back to the Silent Hill 3 commentary with me, Skully the Metalhead. I wanted to show this off again because that imagery is so damn cool. And today we're going to continue our adventures throughout the Otherworld Hilltop facility, Hilltop Hoods. I'm sorry, that is just stuck in my mind right now, but in any case, we're going to run away from there, and, well, basically the plot begins to thicken. As we'll soon see here, some documentation will lead us to the answers we seek. There's something here. Find the Holy One. Kill her? Well, and a picture of Heather! The plot begins to thicken even more. And what would make the plot thicken even thickier than a cutscene? So, enjoy, kids.
Heather. That's what you're called now, isn't it?
And who are you?
The name's Vincent. Don't forget it, okay? I'm on your side.
So you say. But how do I know you're not with her?
Her? You mean Claudia? Please don't lump me together with her. She was totally brainwashed by that crazy old hag. Well, I guess crazy old hag is a bit harsh. She is your mother, after all.
My mother? What do you mean?
You don't remember? Ah, so Harry didn't tell you anything. I guess he hid the truth to keep you on his side, eh? That figures. He's a pretty sneaky guy.
Don't talk about my dad like that!
Sorry. I apologize. Please, calm down.
How do you know my father anyway?
I know everything. I know about your past, too.
Then tell me what's going on.
You don't know even that?
That's why I'm asking. If you know everything, then tell me how I can put an end to this.
Not yet. Why not enjoy yourself a bit longer?
Enjoy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Does this place get to you at all?
It gets to me, all right. I find it most fascinating. Wait! I'm not finished talking!
I knew you were on her side.
How do you figure?
There's something wrong with you, too.
And that, my friends, was Vincent Smith. I keep on wanting to say Vincent Price, but that's completely and utterly wrong. Anyway, we got some more chemicals, so we're going to be in for some more chemistry with Heather Mason. And yeah, don't trust anything that Vincent guy says. He's evil and slimy and slippery, and he probably smells funny. Actually, I think that was actually one of the character descriptions. I think it was like Masahiro Ito described him as. Yeah, Vincent was a guy. Was basically a slippery guy dressed in well-dressed clothes. And his teeth are fucking disgusting. I'm serious, man, like, use a fucking toothbrush. You're surprised those things aren't falling out of his mouth. I don't know if that was an intentional design decision, but, whatever. But in any case, more story content happens here, so we have things to talk about. Seems that this Vincent character has some information on Heather and her true identity. And, oh, fuck me, not these pieces of fucking shit again. This is my most hated enemy in the entire game, the Slurpers. I'll go into the symbolism a little bit later once we find out pretty much everything we need to know about Heather, but, get off, you fucking shit-headed cunts. But, like, I mean, you know, this, like, the stuff that you're seeing right there, this pretty much exemplifies exactly why I hate the Slurpers. They're enemies that, you know, on your first encounter, you might find pretty disturbing, thing about them is, though, is that a lot of their attacks usually involve either knocking Heather down or having her trapped and, you know, Heather having to kick them off and then, you know, ending up shooting them. I mean, they're not, you know, tough or bullet sponges like the closers or, you know, insane cancers or anything like that. They're just, well, I guess the best way to put it would be to call them ankle biters. But, you know, they're ankle biters in the sense that, you know, Silent Hill being the sort of game that it is, you know, it's not really the most combat focused, so there isn't really any sort of blocking attacks that you can really do, because, you know, when they get after you, they'll either, you know, go for a bit of a swipe attack and make you hit, or they'll have you trapped, or, you know, one of their most annoying attacks is that, excuse me, is that they'll usually just barge into Heather and knock her down, which is aggravating as fuck and really removes the fear factor. Anyway, I'll save my angst for the slurpers for a little bit later, because this is the Glutton, and there's quite a bit of symbolism behind it, as you can tell with this fairy tale. Sorry about that, I had to cut out a bit of audio fuck up. Anyway, the king heard about this, and surprised his knights out of nowhere, because the knights were eagerly rude. By the way, there's a lot of symbology behind this. I'm not going to read this full passage, because I'm terrible at keeping up with things. But yeah, we get a nice little tale about a giant monster, knights being sent to slaughter it, and basically nothing else coming of it, so instead they send the village priestess to go take care of it. Silent Hill... well, people who played Silent Hill 1 probably find this similar to the Splitworm tale, but... actually, no, Splithead, sorry. And yeah, if you could tell who the priestess is, congratulations, you are a very smart. Anyway, quite a bit of interesting symbolism with a glutton, actually. Let's get up my handy-dandy tangents, and we will have an explanation. It also, well, again, kind of spoiling stuff a little bit here, but the glutton represents how Claudia views Harry Mason, as she believed he had taken something from her in the past. And, if you know the ending of Silent Hill 1, well, I think you can probably tell what that is. Although it is kind of weird that Claudia is really sort of introduced in that way, since she never really did appear in Silent Hill 1, nor really had any direct mention. Then again, the only characters in Silent Hill 1 connected to the cult that we really had were, you know, well, I guess Lisa and Kaufman by extension. But other than that, it was mostly Dahlia and Alessa, which is a little bit... well, Dahlia, Alessa, and those two doctors who were with Dahlia and Kaufman in the hospital, but other than that, we really didn't get that much of a cult, so to speak. I don't know, I mean, Silent Hill Homecoming had a perfect opportunity to really expand on that sort of stuff, but it didn't really do that much outside of just showing off, like, sort of a branching sect of them. I don't know, Homecoming's really weird about that sort of thing, and it kind of aggravates me that they didn't really explore it to the full potential. And then again, Homecoming as a story is riddled with its own problems, but never mind that, I'm not going to be negative this part. It's time for positive things, but again, going back to the context of the Glutton, yeah. It also has a couple of other representations in and of itself as well, in terms of its symbolism, as there is also some sexual conduct thrown into that part of the symbolism as well, as, you know, soldiers being sent in to towards the Glutton are meant to be reflective of, you know, semen, which, yes, again, a little bit dirty, but, you know, it's also meant to imply that, you know, that it's meant to reflect an infant, you know, an infant in utero, I should say, where it's basically just ravenously feeding off whatever nutrients it's given from its mother via the umbilical cord, which, considering what's coming, is actually a very, very nice bit of symbolism. Oh, by the way, examine that cigarette tray, and Heather will actually remark that she used to smoke cigarettes. Which, again, isn't entirely out of the ordinary, because teenagers smoke. Fuck, I mean, I used to do it as well. But I've quit now, thankfully. And Session 9 reference, right over there. Kinda wish I lingered on it a little bit more, but there are slurpers and they make me very angry, so, yeah. Little did Heather know that Gordon was right across the hallway, looking at the wall, and basically just trying to forget everything that he did to his dear old wife, as well as all his other asbestos buddies. Poor Jeff, and poor David Caruso. By the way, if you haven't caught on to my references, watch Session 9. It's a fantastic movie, and the imagery in that movie is fucking gorgeous. And not to mention, a lot of its, you know, imagery and I think even bits and pieces of its horror ideas were actually used in Silent Hill 3 in and of itself, so yeah, give it a watch if you can, it's utterly brilliant. But here, we can see the flame purifies all picture. And naturally, after all the items we collected with the pork liver and some of the chemicals, it's time for another rousing game of not the symbolism, it's chemistry with Heather Mason. We'll just use all of this, and I screwed up there a little bit. Gotta be directly next to the bucket, so bada bing, you do the thing, and let's cook some pork. Oh, by the way, I do apologize if you hear a whirring sound. That's my computer and it's acting up a little bit. But in any case, what is this? We find a secret exot? Oh, by the way, interesting symbolism with the mouse, actually, and this came from, I believe, Masahiro Ito himself, actually, when designing this, but mouths are actually reflective of inner torment trying to scream out. And I actually really love that little bit of symbolism. Because, like, I mean, you know, you think about people expressing their torment, you know, what do? They scream. So naturally, the open mouths, the teeth and everything, that's reflective of people screaming out from within, you know, to express exactly how they feel. But, you know, because doing so audibly I think would be a little bit too obvious, that's why you have, you know, the picture of the mouths there. And honestly, like, I think it's just utterly fucking brilliant how that's, you know, portrayed with just a picture. I mean, it's completely clean, and it's just staring you in the face, and you're just wondering what the hell it is. And, oh god, I don't know, it's abstract, but it's something that I can't help but appreciate. Please excuse me for a second, I'm going to adjust my microphone. It's just slipping off my head for a little bit. By the way, want to know why I hate the Slurpers? For this right fucking here. Just walk up. Surprise, bitch! And they knock you on the fucking floor, and because of Silent Hill's control scheme, it takes you like, you know, 3 or 4 fucking seconds to, you know, just get your position reset up and then just trying to fucking avoid them, you know, and that's honestly what pisses me off, you know, because it doesn't so much as, you know, make you go, oh shit, there's a Slurper, I'm so scared, I just can't continue, as much as it makes you go, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't want to encounter these pieces of fucking shit anymore, you know? Sorry if I'm overly angry, but the Slurpers, I just don't think are very good enemies, and you know, this would have been a fantastic way to introduce the beef jerky mechanic to distract them, but the problem with it is that because of the fact that you have to move around and, you know, the Slurpers react to your sound, you just can't do it as easily, so ultimately the mechanic goes to waste, and the Slurpers are still just as annoying as they would be if you were just trying to run away from them, so the Slurpers just fucking suck, which is a real bit of a shame because there's actually a lot of cool symbolism behind them. And, you know, I actually really do like their design when tied in with the symbolism, but honestly, there just isn't much. I'm sorry. Gameplay frustrates me. But in any case, I'm so angry it's been making me work up a thirst, so let's make like Heather and get ourselves a drink. Well, that's one way to hide a key. But anyway, get out of here, and we should be good to go. Fuck you, you piece of fucking shiznit. It's exactly why I hate these fucking cunts. Like, I mean, I want to find them scary, I really do. It's just that their attacks are so goddamn annoying, man. But in any case, we are coming towards the end of the Hilltop Center. We'll find the last piece of the story quite soon, and again, as I mentioned, like, I mean, it's really reflective of, I guess, Silent Hill 1, and also how it ties into, well, this game, really. Because, I mean, the story itself, and I'm talking about the fairy tale that we found about the Glutton earlier, is that it deals with, you know, reincarnation, as we'll soon find out, but it also deals with how monsters are defeated, which, again, you know, it's a nice way of telling Silent Hill 1's story to the player without, you know, without basically burying them in, you know, text and text of, you know, dialogue or expository scenes or, you know, just reading up on it, you know? I mean, there is a direct explanation that'll come quite soon, but, you know, it's mostly just there for expository reasons, but it's done in a way that I don't think is very intrusive, which I can appreciate, and I think people who haven't played Silent Hill 1 or people who just got introduced with Silent Hill 3 can really appreciate. Anyway, now let's talk about the end of the fairy tale. So yeah, apparently God took pity on these people and revived the priestess, and the priestess decided, you know what, it's time to get my revenge, so she loaded up a shotgun, reloaded her guns, and was ready to go to town on the monster, except the priestess instead decided to say fuck that, and instead say the words tu fui ego eris. And there's actually some very interesting symbolism behind it, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Actually no, I'll talk about it now since I have a little bit of time, but in translation as to what tu fui ego eris means, it basically means, as I am now, so too shall you become. And, well, as its story implies, that's how the monsters are defeated. But let's see what Heather thinks about this situation.
Tu fui ego eris. Weird writing. What was that?
And with that, the glutton is defeated. In fact, I'm pretty sure all the enemies in this area are actually defeated, which is a little bit weird, because you would have thought that, you know, if this worked, that Heather probably would have cottoned on to that fact and probably would have tried using it everywhere she went. Like, every time she encounters some slurpers, it's like, yeah, fuck you, buddy, tu fui ego eris, and the slurpers just vanish. I don't know, I mean, I would have taken advantage of it, but in the end, the glutton is gone, and we can now leave the Hilltop facility. The Hilltop Center, fuck's sake, you dumb fool. But yeah, the real world, in quotation marks, is restored, and Heather can go on her merry way back home. Yeah, I'm probably going to record one more part tonight, just as soon as I have some pizza that's sitting right beside me right now. And yeah, finally we're going to go home and end all this madness. We'll probably open up the fridge, watch some television, have a nice glass of Pepsi, and then we can tell Harry Mason about our day. It's going to be so good to see him again, man. I love that guy. Harry Mason is our father. You know, we're going to tell him all about our crazy adventures, and then we're going to do something about it. I mean, we have Godslayer Harry Mason on our side. I mean, how cool is that? Harry and Heather loading up with shotguns, machine guns and everything, ready to take down Silent Hill for being cool. Anyway, on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on Silent Hill 3, we get to see Harry Mason again and we're gonna kick some ass. Catch you later, kids, and I'll see you next time.